everyone. He was a baseball star who left us too soon, but now his daughter is making his legacy help others, and now you can join her. Today, Natalie Niekro, founder of the Joe Niekro Foundation, is here with Dr. Joseph Zabramski, and they are going to tell us all about it. Thanks so much for coming, both of you.
Thank you very much for having us.
I love looking at those photos, Natalie.
Don't make me cry.
I know, it just takes me back. It's so amazing. Your dad, of course, Joe Niekro, you founded the Joe Niekro Foundation. Tell me more about it.
Sure. Well, when my dad passed away very unexpectedly in 2006 from a brain aneurysm, at that time when I left the hospital, I was totally lost. And I said, where can I go for support? Who can help me understand what this is all about? And the more I looked, the more I couldn't find anything. So I made it my mission to develop something myself. So that's exactly what I did. And the foundation supports brain aneurysm, AVM, and hemorrhagic stroke research, treatment, and awareness.
Yeah, and it's been very powerful, and it's grown, hasn't it?
It has. We're actually 50-plus chapters right now across the U.S. and internationally. We just expanded internationally, so it's going very, very well. Yeah. But we're helping thousands of people, which is the best part about the whole thing.
Well, it's amazing what you're doing, and in
you.
Your dad's honor too. And doctor, for people who, you hear brain aneurysm, but a lot of people don't really get what it is. Can you explain that to us?
Well, an aneurysm is a small outpouching on one of the blood vessels that provides the blood supply to your brain. It looks like a little balloon sticking up off of the arteries. And it's sort of like the old-fashioned tires where the inner tube would stick out through a defect in the wall of the tire. And what happens is, as the aneurysm enlarges, the risk of hemorrhage becomes higher. So just like a balloon, as you blow it up, it's more likely to rupture. The same thing happens with these little balloons on the blood vessels. And when they rupture, it's like a really bad type of stroke. It's one of the worst types of strokes you can have. About 10 or 20% of people die from the initial hemorrhage. And of those that survive, only about 50% are able to get back to their pre-morbid status, or their normal functions. And this is where Natalie's group comes in. The Joe Niekro Foundation is so helpful because they provide support for these patients and their families while they're recovering.
Yeah, and that is important too. Is there anything we should know? Can you prevent it? Can you do anything about it?
You can't prevent aneurysms. They are much more common than people would expect. About 3 to 5% of the population has an aneurysm. So, if you think about that, that's about one in every 25 people. Fortunately, most of them are very small and at very low risk of rupture. And in young people, they're very rare. So this is a result of the high blood flow that goes to your brain that these occur. And as you get older, the risk of aneurysms goes up. And so people who have a family history of aneurysms should certainly be screened.
Okay. And like you said, you founded this organization to help other people who are dealing with this too. And one way you do it is by fundraising for the organization. And that's what we want to tell everyone about right now. You are holding a Knuckle Ball. Tell me about that. It's also a pitch for life. Explain.
Right. So my dad played for 22 years in the major leagues, and obviously the pitch that made him famous was the Knuckle Ball. So when we first came up with the concept of our big black tie gala fundraiser, we decided, well, let's call it the Knuckle Ball, a pitch for life. So this is the first year we're actually going to be hosting it in Phoenix. We've had it in Houston for the past 5 years.
Oh, wow.
My dad played for the Houston Astros for 13 out of his 22 years in baseball, so it made sense to start our fundraiser there. But now we've moved it to Phoenix because we are in the process of funding a very major research study at Barrow. So we wanted to make sure that we have it here in the local community, and then those funds are going to benefit Dr. Zabramski and a study that he is having at Barrow.
Yeah, and you have awards that you're giving out.
Yes, Dr. Zabramski is also our Medical Humanitarian of the Year, which is an award that we give to a medical doctor in the neurosciences for their research and for their treatment, and for their recognition that they with patients. And then we also have a Humanitarian of the Year, which really recognizes somebody who's very philanthropic in the community.
Well, thanks so much for coming in and sharing it with us. And everybody, the Knuckle Ball is taking place on October 17th. For more information, for tickets, you can go online, go to thejoenikrofoundation.org, or call the number on your screen.